This video is brought to you by Draeger's Classics. Hi, I'm Jerry Draeger, Draeger's International Classic Sales in Seattle, Washington. What we have here for you to take a look at is a 1965 Ford Mustang. Now, it's a pretty nice little car. It's been repainted, and I would tell you the paint job is not the best. It doesn't compare with the paint job on this 66 Mustang back there. The engine has been rebuilt. The transmission has been rebuilt. It's an automatic. It's got power steering. It's got the console. It's got the deluxe pony interior in it. It's got a brand new top on here that was just put on recently. This car was sold new down in New Mexico, and it's been in the same family its whole life. And I assumed when I bought it that it would be rust-free because being there, and then it went up to Idaho, and you don't find much rust in Idaho either. But anyway, the underside has got some rust in it, and it's a decent car. I would drive it anywhere. It runs good. It drives good. We've serviced it. We've safety checked it and made sure everything was good on it. It's one of those cars I should have had it inspected because it was a long ways away from me and I didn't go look at it. However, you know what? I would still buy it again because I'm asking $40,000 for that Mustang back there. And that Mustang is brand new rebuild engine, brand new transmission, brand new interior, brand new paint. It was totally apart and put back together, first cabin. I mean, that's high-end quality. You don't find them like that very often. This is a driver quality car that should work good for you for a long time. And you know what? It's half the price of that one. So, you know, you can afford this one. And it should make a good car for you. The driver's side on this car is beautiful. It's nice and straight. It's not 100% the best paint job you'd ever find. I'm thinking that maybe it's one of Mako's better paint jobs because there's just not much of anything here to show you. Everything looks good. Now this window, it cranks up. It's a little stiff, not bad, but it works okay. Wind wing, it would work if the mirror wasn't there. So we have that. And this back window, it rolls up good too. And these doors close good. All along here and everything. This all looks decent. There's a couple little spots there, and there's a little spot up there on the deal. There's a little pitting right here. I mean, that's just the old age there showing through. This all looks good. All this here, all this down and through here, all this. I mean, everywhere I look, top of the hood and everything, all looks great. They've got almost brand new tires on here and the wire hubcaps and stuff. So it looks great. I wanted to point out too on this windshield, it's got some windshield marks on here. They're not bad. I can't even hardly feel them, but they're there. Might polish out. The front end of this thing looks good. I sit here and I look on the hood and I don't know if you can see it. Maybe if it was wet sanded a bit, there is some orange peel on the top of this hood, and you got to be in the right light to even notice it. Here's one of the few spots in it right there, a little chip, paint. There's a couple of marks on the bumper there. All looks pretty decent across here. There's a little marring right there. Another couple of spots. Probably the original bumper on here would be my guess, because I don't think it's been replaced. Now to open this hood, you just reach down underneath here and pull and lift up. And there's the underside, and you can see this is all beautiful. And when they painted it, they painted the underside. And you can look at this engine compartment. It looks decent. It's all like it should be. This has got a 289 engine in it with a 4-barrel, I think. I know it is. Look at there, brand new air cleaner in there. And there's the 2-barrel. It's a 2-barrel, so I was wrong. Anyway, that gives you an idea what it looks like that way. So if you want a little more horsepower, you could put a 4-barrel on it, I guess. But, you know, in most cases, this will be enough for anybody if I can find the spot. Well, come on now. I know it's right there. It's got to be right there. Where is it at? Huh? There we go. Okay. Thank you, son. Sometimes they go on, I can get them on real fast. Sometimes I can't. The other good thing on this car, we got power steering, which really makes a difference. I always like a 289 automatic with power steering. Makes it easy to drive for anybody. VIN number is right here where it's supposed to be. All that looks good. These inner fenders all look decent. I mean, you know, I'm just looking around at it and I don't see anything really bad anywhere. So I think you'll be just fine with this Mustang. Hood closes just fine. And again, everything looks good across here. Oh, there's a little chip right there in the paint. Now, the passenger side on this car, just like the driver's side, it's all real nice and straight. Got the good hubcaps and wheels on here. This all looks good. It all looks really nice along here. This side looks good. This is old right in there a little bit. You know, it's not a show quality car by any manner of means, but this paint looks real good on here, and I think you'll be quite happy with the way it looks. In this door, window, it opens fine. Closes. Wind wing works. Nobody's opened it for a while. See there, old rubber falling out. So, oh yes, I want to show you this window so you know it works good too. And again, closes good. Everything looks good through here. I mean, there's not much to show you in this paint at all. It all looks really decent. The back end looks like the rest of the car. This is probably the original bumper on here. It's showing old age. It's not new, but I don't know if you'd replace it or not. Gas cap looks good. This all looks good underneath here. Trunk. You gotta put the key in the right way. I put it in the wrong way. And you can see how this has been all repainted and everything. This looks all real nice. You got a heavy duty cover for the spare tire. Got the spare tire. It's an old bias ply tire. And of course the tie down and everything there, we just haven't done it. There's a bag for the jack and stuff, and here's a jack. You got two jacks with this thing. So anyway, you can see that. Now it's a little ugly in here. Like this fender here, they sprayed it black and everything, and this is where it gets it's not as nice as the outside. So I can see a hole right through there and next to the gas tank. So there are some issues with this car, as you'll see in the underside and everything. But overall, this is going to make you, I think, a very good little car to drive and affordable too. I mean, it doesn't need anything. We got a couple of little chips right there and there. Other than that, I don't see anything. Okay, now we're going to turn on the lights for you. There's high beam, low beam, park light, left turn signal, right turn signal, wipers. Need a little water on them, they'd work a little better probably. Well, there we go. And the horn, it works. Everything's working good. So there's your tail lights, brake lights, left turn signal, right turn signal. What I want to show you is how easy it is to put this top up and down on this convertible. You have to open these clamps up, and I like to close them after I get them up so that when we put the top down and put the boot on, the clamps are out of the way. So I always like to do that. And then all we have to do is go down here and operate this switch right here. And the top will start going down, as you can see. And then when it gets to about there, that's when I like to check out the rear window. You can see that this top is all in great shape. It's, you know, it's a new top on here. This window is down nice, just the way you want it. So we continue on with it. Push this top comes down. Once you get it to there, then you can put your boot on, and then just a matter of snapping it on. But I don't want to take the time to do that for you. So let's put it back up so you can see it go up and everything. And again, it's the same type of thing. You just pull the switch toward you, and the top comes up. As you see, it comes down and it gets to there, and then you want to open these clamps up on both sides so it's there. Now this top, it's cold out, and so this top is a little tight, and you got to pull back here in this back piece to get these clamps in. And that's all there is to putting the top up. As you can see, it's got the deluxe pony interior in here. We don't know if this is a deluxe car or not because the tag is gone. A little bit of a hole right there. Looks like another little spot right over there. The boot here has a bad spot in it. These are pretty inexpensive. But overall, this looks pretty decent. It's got a little bit bad spot here where this stop is coming down on it. But, you know, the backs look good. The seats themselves look good. The console looks good in here and everything. Ashtray. It's got a wood grain plastic steering wheel. It's got a crack in it right there and in there. The dash pad looks great on this car. I assume that dash pad must have been replaced. It looks so good. And also on this car, which is real interesting, this is a 66 dash. So if you look across here, 65 dashes were different. This would be like what a GT would have, but in 65, and with the wood grain and everything, and of course the glove box is all right there. We pulled the pads out so you can see that the carpet, it looks fairly new on here. I probably put new carpets in here when they put the new top on, it looks like to me. You can see it has the complete deluxe pony interior, door handles and the pads. You can also see that, like we told you, there is no tag on here, so we don't know what the original color was, whether this is a deluxe car or not. We just don't have any way of knowing. But you can see it's all clean and nice, the door jambs and all this along through here and up into here. This all looks real good. And again, you can see this door panel is just like the other. It's got the deluxe interior, the lights work. I mean, this is a pretty damn nice car. And the door jambs, again, you can see in here, they're all nice and clean, and it's a good looking car. Now you can see the gas gauge works, the oil pressure goes up. The amp gauge is working, you can't hardly see it moving. Temperature gauge, it's cold out here and we haven't ran this much, just a little bit of what you saw there. Heater, it works, these controls work. They're a little stiff, but they work. Look at there, something popped right out of there when I put it on the defrost. Radio, oh, it works. I didn't know if it worked or not.
We had an earlier caller who was talking about that.
So there, ashtrays right here. Cigarette lighters right there. It doesn't want to work. And of course you got the little glove box there with the on the console. That looks like a new liner to me. It looks too nice to be original. So you can see this thing's had some money spent on it. Now I want to tell you, sometimes I bought this car. I've been looking for Mustangs, and it's hard to find good Mustangs. And it was 300 miles away from me. And I talked to the guy. He told me that this car was in New Mexico most of its life. His sister bought it new, and her kids had the engine rebuilt, and she couldn't afford to pay for it. So this gentleman lived in Idaho. Her her brother, he bought it, or all he had to do was pay for the repairs, and she gave him the car. And so he brought it up to Idaho, and I don't think he's had it a long, long time. But anyway, this is a typical case where when you don't go look at them or have them inspected, you can end up with a car like this. Now, this car isn't bad, but it's got some rust in it and stuff, and maybe I wouldn't have bought it if I'd have crawled underneath and looked at the underside, you know, or I'd had it inspected. So I always want you to get your cars inspected before you buy them. And when you're looking at this underside, think about that. How many times guys send you pictures, but they don't send you very good pictures of the underside, or they don't do any videos of the underside. And if they do, they're usually out this way facing, and so you only see a partial deal. We show you the whole thing so you can tell. Now, it's like right here, this has been filled in. There's a little bit of a bad spot. I think this is just undercoat. There's the rubber plug and everything, and you can see this just pulls off. So I thought there was a bad spot there, but it's good and solid. The rest of this doesn't look too bad. This gas tank looks like it's been replaced at some time or another. And this side over here, it's been filled in also. But the rest of this in here, this looks good. There's a kind of a bad, well, you know what? I think I see plates in there. So, you know, I mean, it's had some problems in there. This has got a single exhaust on it. You know, that's one of the things I look at. This hasn't been played with a lot because most people put a dual exhaust on, and they don't end up with this original style exhaust on here like this has got on here. All this looks pretty decent through here. I mean, it's grody looking with all the stuff hanging down and stuff, but, you know, it's just typical of road. Now there's a bad spot right in here. So that, you know, there's bad spots in here. Now I look at the rockers on here, and the rockers are good. It's one of the things I like to look at and see how they are, and the numbers are in here. But look at right here, there's a bad spot right in here. This is rust, but I just pushed my finger through it and stuff. So I mean, there are some bad spots in here, but you know, these floor pans up in here, they look all good. It's funny how rust is and where it'll get, and sometimes it's just accumulation of dirt piling up, getting wet and not getting dried out that'll cause that. But you can see that this whole side through here, this all looks fairly decent. Now again, the rocker on this side here, same way. The drain vents in here good, and this drain vent's in good. The numbers are here. I can see, you know, the weld marks. This has not been played with, so I mean, some of this stuff looks bad underneath here, yet some of it looks good. Now this floor pan right here, this has been cut out. You can see where it's cut along right there. The frame, all the frame, if you want to call it a frame, this all looks good right through here. Everything looks good that way. Now I just told you that this rocker's great. The numbers are stamped in here like they're supposed to be. And then you come on this side of the rocker, and we got it's bad right through here and stuff. It probably accumulation of dirt gotten down in from the inside, dust and stuff, and build up. So that's a bad spot right there. All this looks pretty decent through here. And the transmission, I can see how clean the tail shaft is, and then the transmission itself. So I know it's been rebuilt like he told me. It's kind of bad out in here and stuff. This has been filled in, and that side hasn't. This side over here, looking at this plate, you know, it's got tar on here or some damn thing, but it's solid inside here. I can feel roughness, but I don't feel it's solid in there. So, you know, and there's a bad spot right in there. Now this is the bottom of the 289, and I want to tell you this thing runs and drives great. I would drive it anywhere. I've driven it a bit, and I got to tell you, I'm not unhappy that it runs and drives it. It does have power steering on it. All this up in front here looks a lot better. Sometimes this area here will be bad I've seen them, but this is all good and solid through there. And all this looks all good through here. So I want to tell you, I just reiterate the fact that it's important to have a vehicle inspected so you know what you're buying. you know, this rig, even though it's got some rust in it, should give you a lot of years of good service. And most people will never know what it looks like on the underside. And it is really probably not going to get any worse because you're not going to leave this thing out in the weather or drive it in the salted roads and that sort of stuff. So you should have good service out of this car for years. Well, we'll give a chance to see how this thing runs down the freeway for you. I know how it runs down the freeway because I've driven it quite a few miles already, and it runs and drives great. We're going up onto the freeway northbound now, so you get a chance to see how this thing runs and drives on the freeway. Speedometer shows 60 on here, and I don't know how we're doing speed-wise. I'm going to step on it here so you can see it go now. Remember, this is only a 2-barrel. Speedometer showed 80. Now you get to see the passenger side of this vehicle going down the freeway, and I think it looks good all the way around. Wherever you watch this car, I think it all looks good. It gives you a good chance to watch this vehicle, this Mustang going down the freeway. I like going through these curves here, but my wife doesn't go that fast when she's driving, so we have to slow down a little bit for her. Well, we're back to Drager's Clubhouse, and I hope you enjoyed getting to watch this 65 Mustang go down the road and see how well it runs and drives. I like the way it runs and drives. It works well. Give us a call, 206-533-9600. We'd be more than happy to talk to you about this real nice little Mustang.
I'm Andrew Drager, and if you have any questions about this vehicle, please don't hesitate to call or email us.
I'm Jerry Drager, and we're a father-son team, and we hope you enjoyed the video and understand that we really try really hard to go over the vehicle with this video to show you everything. Doesn't mean that I get every single spot or anything else, but I try, and Andrew and I both work really hard to make sure the vehicles are in top shape before they leave here. You got any questions, always give us a call or email us. We'd be more than happy to talk to you. We really invite you to come see them. And if you can't, you should have them inspected. I think it's really important to make sure you understand what you're buying.